Okay, perfect. So let's begin our session for the day. And in our last session, I gave you an overview. In our last session, we saw that how do we register for a Salesforce trial account, right? And how do we
Yep.
sign up for a Salesforce trial account? We discussed about the classic and the lightning version, and I've told you that in your resumes also, even in your job, like if like in an interview, if somebody asks you about the platform you have worked with, so you have to mention that I have worked on both the platforms, but mainly your experience, you have to show your experience in lightning.
Yep.
Reason being, lightning is the upgraded version of classic, and now almost all the organizations, all the new applications, all the projects, they will be designed and developed using lightning platform, right? Especially when we talk about the components part or the customization part or the development part. So we mainly focus on the Lightning platform because we'll be dealing with we'll be going to create Lightning components and Lightning web components in future. So Lightning platform will be focusing. So what we did in our last session, we registered these. We have registered a trial account successfully, and I've told you that we have two ways to do that. Either we can visit salesforce.com and sign up, but that's a trial account, and that would be a 30 days trial. And after 30 days, your subscription will expire. And the second method was we can go with we can follow developer.salesforce.com and register over there. So developer.salesforce.com is more useful because uh, the subscription will not expire for that. For developer.salesforce.com, subscription will not expire, and we can use it as long as we want, and we will be getting all the features, but the limitations, number one, we'll get limited space, only 5 MB of space will be assigned to you in order to store the records. Okay, in order to store the records, only 5 MB of space will be assigned, and 5 MB means we can store almost 600 to 700 records in that, and that's sufficient for testing purpose, that's sufficient for practice on sales. And the second, as I've mentioned, whenever a Salesforce release any updates, or the Salesforce release, because Salesforce release 3 updates a year, so those updates will reflect in the in your those updates will reflect in your environment maybe after a couple of days. Not it's not an instant update. Okay, right. Now there are few things we need to discuss about Salesforce. So, do you have like if I ask you a question, do you have experience about database? You have a database knowledge, right? SQL database or Oracle.
Yep. Yep.
You know, right? So you know that in even if like for example, if you want to create a new data set in Oracle, or if you want to store any information in Oracle, or if you want to use SQL Server to manage your data, so the first thing we have to do is we have to register a new database. Is it possible to add a record directly into database? Can we do that? Like we only register a database and add records into that? Is it doable? It's not
So we have to
possible.
first
You have to
create the schema and the tables and
right. You have to first create the tables and field. Then you in within tables you have to you have to mention the fields, the schema as you mentioned. We have to specify the fields. And then only once our table is ready with proper fields, then only we can insert records. Same thing goes with Salesforce. So that's the terminology. Actually, I'm talking about the terminologies of Salesforce because from here onwards we have to use these terminologies in Salesforce. So these are the terminologies of Salesforce, that in Salesforce the flow is this. In Salesforce we used to create applications, then objects, then fields and records. So that means even in Salesforce also, if you would like to create a new record, or if you would like to capture new leads or new opportunities or new campaign, any information we would like to store in Salesforce, it's mandatory to create an application first. So first, set up an application. Within applications, we need to create objects. Then within objects, we'll add fields, and then finally we insert records. Now, if you compare this flow with the database flow, it's almost same. Okay, only the terminology is different. So database in Salesforce it becomes applications. So here, when you click on this app launcher, you will get a list of applications. These all are applications. I think I logged in. Okay, we have to sign up. I think we did that. I remember. One second. Just a second because it's a different one. Yeah. Cool. Right. So we have to sign in, and when we click on this, see sales application, marketing application, service application, community application, we'll be getting all these platforms, all the applications. And when you click on view all, we'll be able to get a list of all these. These all are the applications. Like all these applications will be designed by us. We created these applications. No, these applications will be created by Salesforce. So we used to call them standard applications. And let me open a sales application. For example, sales application. Right click and open in a new tab. So you can see this is your application, and within application, these all are objects. Now, objects will be equivalent to your tables, right? So objects will be equivalent to the tables. And if I'll open an object, let's say opportunity object, and when I click on new button, we'll get the fields. So, and within objects, we have the fields. Just imagine if there are no fields. We don't have proper labeling to the fields. Only you have these text boxes, but no labelings. Then will it be possible for you to add record? Then it will be very difficult to insert a record, because if there will be no proper labeling, it will be very difficult to add a record, because we don't know what type of information are we going to store, what information are we adding into it. So labeling will be required. Labels means the fields. We have to add fields. And finally, we can add records. Record means once we fill this form and click on save, a record gets generated. See, you can see here are the records. This is one record, second record, third record, fourth record. These all are records. Clear?
Yep. Yep.
Right? So we have to, so basically you have to follow this terminology. You have to remember this terminology. So that will be easy. So that you can easily relate it with the Salesforce. Now, when it comes to Salesforce, in Salesforce, we have two types of applications, two types of object, two type of fields. Standard application, custom, okay, standard application, standard object, standard field. Standard means predefined, predefined, predefined. Predefined means it's already defined by Salesforce, by system. And custom means user defined, user defined. So user defined. So user will be going to design this, right? So standard application, they are already designed and developed by Salesforce. Will be only using them. Okay, let me ask you a question. For example, if you bought a new phone, and when you configure your phone very first time, or even if you format your phone, and when you configure the phone, what happened? There are many system applications. There are many applications which are pre-installed. So will it be possible for you to remove those applications from your devices? Can we do that? Like we used to have applications like we used to have apps like phone apps, messaging app, right? Will okay. So will it be possible to remove those apps from your devices, from your phones? Can we do that? No, we can't.
No.
Can we customize them completely? Is it possible to rename the contacts, or is it possible to change the icon of a contact? Can we do that? Like, is it possible to rename it with something else? Can we do that?
Never tried that, but I guess possible.
No, not possible actually, because
No.
those are system
Okay.
apps, right? And okay, those are system apps. Or let's suppose if you have downloaded any third party application, let's say WhatsApp or Facebook, can we change the Facebook icon, or can we change the WhatsApp icon? We can't.
No.
Okay, even we cannot change the color theme also. Like Facebook color theme is blue and the WhatsApp color theme is almost green. So is it possible to change it? No, we can't. Right. Color theme means not the messaging theme, not inside that. Color theme is the icon color. So we can't change that. Like instead of like WhatsApp icon is W, but is it possible to instead of replace this W with something else? No, we can't. So in short, the system applications or the third party applications, we can only use them. We cannot customize them completely. But let's suppose if you are a developer and you design and develop an application for your company, you have designed and developed a mobile app for your company. So will it be possible to customize it fully? Can we customize that completely? Yes, we can do that, right? Because you have control on that application because that application is designed by you. So it is possible for you to change the icon. Is it possible for you to change the look and feel of the application of that app? So we used to call it as a custom app. So in Salesforce, we used to have standard applications, standard objects, standard fields. And along with that, we can set up custom application. We can create custom applications. We can create custom objects. We can add custom fields. And anything which is custom, anything which is considered to be the custom, we can customize that. We can delete it. We can remove it from the platform. We can remove it from the system or from our Salesforce system. But other than that, the standard functionality, standard applications, object fields, or anything which is designed and developed by Salesforce, we cannot remove them. Okay. Uh, okay. If I ask you, like what's your prior experience in which function, like in which technology? In SAP,
Siebel theorem.
People.
Siebel CRM. Now in Siebel CRM, are you using any backend database for that, or it's a cloud solution? Because I don't have much experience on that.
It's a
So how
backend
about the
database.
database in Eagle? Yeah, it's a backend database. So that means it's connected to any maybe desktop database, maybe SQL or SQL Server or Oracle, which is installed on your system.
It's a it's a app-based application from it. So we have servers and it has its
Mhm.
own database, Oracle database. We configure the connection between
Oracle data.
them, and that's how we offer
Okay,
a
so
web
you have
application.
that means you have to configure an application. You have to configure a database connection,
Yeah.
right? And you have to install and in order to configure the database, in order to configure that, you need a dedicated server for that,
Yeah.
right? And dedicated server, and you need to maintain the database connection. You need to maintain the connection connectivity between the front end application or web app and the database. So in short, we require dedicated resources to manage the server. We require dedicated resources to manage the database connectivities and everything. Whereas in Salesforce, everything is managed by Salesforce. Even the database also managed by Salesforce. We don't have to set up any database. We don't have to install any database actually on our local device. Number one, we don't have to install any. We don't require any dedicated system, dedicated server for this. Everything is on cloud, and the connectivity between the database and the application, front end application, will be managed by Salesforce. We only have to give instructions. We have to only tell them that I want this database. These are the instructions, and rest of the things will be managed by Salesforce based on our given instructions. Get it? Okay. So now, if I'll get back to Salesforce instance, if I get back to Salesforce,
Sumit,
so in Salesforce,
one
yes,
question.
tell me. Hmm.
So you mentioned, right, standard object, standard, no, standard application. So
Hmm.
do we have a provision to extend that customer on standard object level? Can we do the modifications? Like, modification in the sense, let's say opportunity that's in standard object. So there are
Hmm.
50 columns are there. Can I extend into 51 or 52 columns on the same?
Yeah, yeah,
Or do
definitely,
I need?
definitely. Definitely, definitely. You mean to say we have 50 fields and we would like to add more fields. For example, see there is no let's say opportunity. If I would like to add any additional field, we can do that.
But you mentioned on standard objects level customization or not.
Customization means I cannot rename this. I cannot delete it. That's customization.
Okay.
If I want to change that,
Okay.
if I want to change that, if I want to change the type, if I want to change the label, I can't do that. Okay. But if I would like to add any new field, we can do that. That is doable. We can add custom fields.
So I can clone the same I mean the same opportunity to
Uh,
another run.
Another application. See, you don't have to clone it actually. You don't have to clone anything. For example, see, this is an application called sales application. And let me open one more application, let's say marketing application. And if I'll open this, see, this is also a system app in marketing application. And here also you will find out opportunities. So you don't have to clone actually whenever we create an object. So this object will be, we can specify whether we want to add the custom, whether we want to access, or whether we want to add or place standard object in our application. Okay.
Okay, in the
So we don't have,
same application, let's say I need two opportunity screens, like one is our out of the box standard one, another one is a customized. So can I clone that
uh,
entity, which is an opportunity entity, in
you
the same
cannot clone
application?
because no, we cannot in the same application. We don't have an option to clone it. Number one, we cannot clone this. But what you can do, you can create a new custom object with same label, but their names cannot be seen. There are two things: label and names. So labels can be same. For example, if I want to add one more, I want to add one more object, custom object, name as opportunity. We can do that, but only the label, but their backend name or the system names cannot be same. Okay,
Okay,
because we don't have an option. We don't have an option to clone the object. We can create a new custom object, or like opportunity is already there, so we don't have an option to clone this because this one object can be add only once in one object can be placed only once per application. So like as you mentioned, cloning means you want to make a copy of it, and copy in terms of the name, maybe the name should be different, the name can be different.
correct. But schema
Okay,
should be the
that is
same.
possible. Yeah, schema should be the same. That is, so then you have to, in that case, what you have to do, you have to, then there's a solution. We can download the schema for this one and then upload it with a new name. I'll show you practically these things, how to do that.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
right. So now, if you remember in last session, we discussed about that whenever we, let's suppose we join an organization, whenever we recently join a company as a Salesforce expert, and as a Salesforce end user, not as an admin, not as a developer, we recently joined an organization as a Salesforce end user, right? And when we join a company as a Salesforce end user, so definitely we have limited permission. Limited permission means we will be able to use the application, but will not be able to customize the like we will not be able to customize the application. Like end user means you can only use the application. You cannot customize that application. Okay. Now I logged in as like I recently joined an organization, and the administrator, if you remember, we discussed that the admin register an account, register login credentials, and the administrator filled only required details. The rest of the details I have to fill by myself. Okay, rest of the details I need to fill by myself, my personal information. How do I do that? How do I do that? If I want to change my personal details, how can I do that? If I want to change my password, get it? Or if I want to change if I want to change my locations, or if I want to change my working time zone, how do we do that? See, Salesforce is a multi-tenant platform. Multi-tenant platform means multiple users can log in on the same application from different regions. For example, if I'm operating from India, so I would prefer to set my time zone as IST time zone. If you will be operating from US, okay, let's suppose one of you will be operating from France, and the third one will be operating from Japan. So what happened? All of you will be operating from three different regions. So what you want to set the time. according to your working, according to your time zone, and even the language also. Okay, three different languages. So in short, what we are talking about, we are talking about customizing the personal settings. You know that in like we can manage the personal settings by going to the settings option in any app. Okay, I would like to manage my personal settings, and in order to manage my personal settings, let's suppose I want to change my password. I know my password, but I want to change it. There are two possible ways. Number one, we can request to an administrator that please reset my password. Or number two, you will open a link to reset the password. We'll follow a link to reset password by ourselves. So what do you think? Which method you will follow? If you have to reset your password, which method you will follow? You will reach out to the administrator and request an administrator that please reset my password, or you will open an option and you will reset the password by yourself. What do you think?
Following the link is the more secure way. So generally,
Definitely. In that case, you don't have to reach out to the administrator, and obviously, like if just think that if every employee will be reaching out the administrator to reset the password, then the administrator will be doing only these things. Okay, so this will create unnecessary load on administrator, right? So therefore, the Salesforce system provides a link to reset the password. And how do we do that? How do we reset a password? Or how do we customize our personal settings? Click on view profile.
profile.
So whoever logged in, they can do that. They are allowed to customize their settings, but not the company setting, but they can customize their own personal settings. So click here and settings. And when you click on settings, these are personal settings, not the company one. And here, see this, can change the name, alias, email, nickname, phone number, extension, fax, mobile. They can just fill up the details if it is needed. They can just enter all the details. Okay, they can just mention the details. Address, city, zip code. So what admin does actually, admin fill up all the required one. Rest of the information, the users they can complete by themselves. They can fill by themselves, like working information, company name, title, department, divisions, employee number. Let's say starting time will be 9 a.m. to let's say 6 p.m. and save this. That's a personal information. Get it? That's a personal detail. Now, for example, as I mentioned, I forgot my password. So here's a link. Change my password. And there are okay resetting my password and forgot password. Two different options. If resetting password means if I'm changing my password, that means I should know my existing password, old password. Here I have to enter my current password and the new password and the security questions here. If I want to change my password. And if I forgot my password, then we can if I forgot my password, then we can request from here, like login.salesforce.com, and here's an option. Uh, here, forgot your password. So just in case if you forgot your password, you have to use this option. And if you want to reset your password, then you have to follow this link and reset it. So, change my password. Now I would like to see more information about myself. So I'll just go to advanced user details. And in advanced user details, I can see my information that what's my name, email, username, nickname, title, other information, my license and my profile. See this, I'm an administrator. My role is a CEO role, and I'm an administrator, system administrator, right? And when I click on edit, I would be able to customize other settings. And here's an option. See this time zone. My time zone is IC time zone. But let's suppose, like in your case, I mentioned if you want to change your time zone, so you can change it from here. This is your time zone, not the company one. This is your time zone from where you will be operating. The time zone, locale, and language. And like as I mentioned, let's suppose one of you is operating from France and like he is good in French language. So definitely he wants to access the interface in French language. So here. or if one is operating from Japan, from the Japan, so would like to access the interface in Japanese language. Here it is. Get it? So same application can be accessed by multiple users in different languages. Clear? This one. So basically, what is this? That's the advanced user details. Advanced user details.
Sumit,
Okay.
one question.
Yeah, tell me.
Should I? Yeah. So
Yeah,
we
tell me.
bring that as should we as we bring that the password concept, in a corporates in
Mm-hmm.
almost in every organization. So we have an SSO,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the password
Mm-hmm.
reset is maybe not applicable for the Salesforce, like a specific application. So this SSO configuration is also allowed, right? Here, this and every organization they have their own authentication mechanism, and internal have their own policies. So how
Mm-hmm.
I mean Salesforce going to be adhere that approach?
So that could be done by the integrations. You're talking about SSO configuration. So that what happened, the developers they will be going to configure the SSO single sign-on actually. SSO is a single
Right.
sign-on,
Correct. Single
right?
sign-on. This not only the Salesforce. Maybe there are many applications being used by the
Yes, yes,
agent,
yes.
right?
It is right. So basically, they would like to see what is a single sign-on. SSO is basically we would like to allow the users to log in, not only by using Salesforce credentials. Maybe they just want to sign up or log in by using their Gmail account, Google account, or they would like to sign. They would like to log in by using their LinkedIn account or Facebook account, right?
Mm,
That is
yeah, maybe
SSO.
they.
So we have so we have to configure that. For example, let me show you one example. See, for example, there is a platform from the Salesforce called Trailhead. This is for the learning platform. I will be going to introduce this platform to you as well, so that for practice purpose, more okay. But in this Trailhead, when I click on sign up, see there's a sign up option, and in a sign up option, there are possible ways to sign up. See this. What are the possible ways to sign up here? See this. So I can sign up by directly using my Salesforce credentials, or I can sign up by using Google account or LinkedIn account or Apple account or Facebook account. This is the SSO configuration. This is what you're talking about.
Yeah, kind of, but in yeah.
Hmm.
Generally, in a corporate, Sumit, we don't go for this social networking sites ID password. Every corporate will have their own ID password, right? We are working for a company. I'm
Yeah.
working for a company. I have my ID password. So the same ID password is used for all enterprise applications, including Salesforce. So, uh, so I think what Gopi is trying to understand is for our corporate logins, if I have to connect Salesforce with that corporate login, how is that possible?
So in that case, okay, in your corporate login, so what happened from your corporate logins? So that's what I'm talking about. So we have to configure the single sign-on settings. So single sign-on settings need to configure. See this. In order to authenticate users in a salesforce.com from external environment. Now, external environment could be social or it could be your company domains.
Correct.
Yeah, that's an adapt one something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this need to be configured, and this is a job of a
So do
developer.
you know
Developer will
the
do this.
process to configure this, Sumit? I mean, I see SAML-based assertion validator. That is one way, but
Hmm.
I'm not sure about the settings. So will you be covering that
Yeah. So
settings also as part of?
yeah, I would be doing that, but I need to check it that which like which. So we required few information. Like when we edit this, we need couple of details.
Hmm.
Right. So we have to configure the settings. And we okay, so SAML single sign-on settings, we need to configure that, and then we need to provide the information. See this. We require some details to configure, and
Yep,
some
yep,
codings need to be done. Some
yep, yep.
codings need to be done in that.
Right, right. So will you be covering that in this course?
Yeah, yeah, that is a part of an integration thing.
Oh,
Oh, okay,
When
okay.
we talk about
so,
the development, so then it comes. in integration.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we covering the Salesforce development part, then it's that time we'll be doing this. Right. So I was just talking about this advanced user details. So in this advanced user details, what happened? Like I myself can customize the settings. I can manage my personal settings. See, these all are my settings. Admin has nothing to do with this, and other user they have nothing to do with this. Okay, I can change my password. I can set my language and time zone also. See, if I just want to set my language and time zone, I can do that. For example, if I set my language to Japanese language, save this. Now what happened? The whole interface will change into Japanese language. So when I refresh, have a look. See this. Okay. Same application will be accessed by multiple users, but for me, the interface will be in Japanese language. And if my keyboard support Japanese, I can type in the Japanese. So I can access the information in the Japanese language. Translation. This is auto translation. And if I'll get back, I can do that. Okay. Now one more thing. Let's suppose I would like to know that how many times I have logged in. Okay, one thing. If I tell you my username and password, okay, let's talk about the security of Salesforce. For example, if I share my credentials to you, you will not be able to log in into that. Okay, so that means that even if you know my credentials, you won't be able to log in into Salesforce account using my credentials. Reason, Salesforce tracks the IP, system IP. That okay, so every time a user logged in, Salesforce will track the IP address, and if okay, let's suppose I try to log in. So Salesforce quickly check that whether I logged in earlier from the same IP address. If the IP address is different, then what happened? Salesforce will throw an error message, or it will send a verification code on the mail ID. Okay, it will send a, it's like it send a verification code. Verification code is similar to the OTP. So it will send like a OTP on mail ID, and once I mention that OTP, then only I will be able to log in. Okay, and here it is. For example, if I say login history, you can see in this login history is checking out my login time, source IP, login type is application, see this, last login, and last password change or reset. So we set the password last time. Success, browser, login.salesforce.com, and location will be India. So it tracks everything. And I can download the login history for last 6 months. This is for auditing purpose. Okay, this is for auditing purpose. If it is required, we can audit that. I just for okay. So this is, but one thing, this is only, these are personal information only for myself. But let's suppose being an administrator, I would like to download the login details for the complete organization. And in that organization, we have hundreds of users. So I just wanted to check, I just want to track actually that which user logged in, what time, from which IP address, and how many times he tried to log in basically, and basically that which user failed to log in and why. So I would like to check those details, that information, and that to be organizational level. This is personal level, but if I'm looking for organizational level, then what we need to do? We need to get back to setup. See this. So I click here and navigate to setup here. And in setup, search for login history. So this login history and this login history is different. Why? This login history for my personal, only for myself. And this login history is an organizational level login history. And when I click on this login history, it tracks more detailed information. See this. User, which user logged in, what time, what's the IP, location, login by using applications, success, browser, Windows platform, everything. So see, it tracks everything for you. It tracks everything, detailed information. So, and just in case if failed to log in due to some reason, maybe the password is wrong, or because we have a security feature in Salesforce that we can restrict the users to log in from any location. We can restrict users that they can log in only from a particular IP, or we can restrict users to log in only at a particular time. Okay, so we can configure that particular IP and at a particular time. Get it? So we can do that. So for that, in that case, in that case, this will help us out that just in case if the user is blocked to log in due to some reason, so I would be able to know that why that user is blocked. And if any unauthorized user try to log into Salesforce, I would be able to get a notification alert that a user tried to log in from this particular IP address, and then I can block that IP permanently. So that from next time, if any request comes from that particular IP, Salesforce will not entertain that. Get it? Login
Yeah, yeah.
history. These are login details, login information. Okay, let's suppose. Okay, let's understand like this. The next requirement. For example, we all are at the remote location, right? We all are at the remote location, and I'm an administrator, and you are end user, Salesforce end user. And now what happened? And I'm the administrator. We all are working in the same company, but I'm working in admin role, and you are working as a Salesforce end user. And now you will be facing some issues in your application, or maybe you're not able to, like you will be facing some issues in in the system in terms of Salesforce platform, and you are not able to resolve that. You are not able to find out that what's the issue, what and why it is happening, and what's the solution for that. Get it? And you are at a remote location. So if you are in an office, you can talk to someone, and you can show your application to that user, to you can show your application to the technical team, and what they will do, they will sit with you and resolve the issues you will be facing. But let's suppose if you are traveling and you are at a remote location, then what will you do? Then we can use desktop sharing tool. Okay, and using desktop sharing tool, we can we can take the help of the technical team. Get it? By using desktop sharing tool. So Salesforce provides an internal functionality, and using that internal functionality, what I can do in using that internal functionality, what you can do, like for example, you will be facing an issue, so you will give me access. So you will be okay as an administrator. You will basically what you will do, you will give permission to me to log in as you, or to access your interface, to access your system, maybe for an hour or for a day or for a month, for some time. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, here it is. See this grant account login access. What is grant account login access? To assist with support issues, you may grant your administrator or support personnel the ability to log in as you and access your data. And in this case, because see, I'm an administrator, so definitely I cannot give permission to myself. I'm already an administrator. But if you have another user as a non-administrator, then that user can grant access permission to the admin or to the Salesforce support, Salesforce.com support. See, and what I can do, I can give one day access, one day permission. So what happens? Again, I can request to the Salesforce support team. They will find out my details, and they can log in as me. Okay, they can log in as me from their system, and okay, they can log in as me from their system, and they can resolve my issues. And once the resolution is done, I can remove the permit. I can remove this so that if they try to connect again tomorrow, they will not be able to do that. You clear with
Can
this?
you click on that drop down once, Sumit? I just want to see what are the options available.
This is that how long do you want to give permission for? 1 day, 3 days, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, like this.
Yeah, yeah, just click on that drop down once.
Yeah, I already clicked drop down. This is okay, okay. Actually, I clicked it, but it's Not visible to you. One. Just a second. Let me share the entire screen. See what happened? This application is shared, no? That's
Okay.
now.
Okay. So 1 day, 3 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. Okay. Okay.
So how long do you want to
And Sumit,
access your app?
this can be set up at the organization level because, if I want to have this as a global setting for all my users,
Hmm.
can I manage that as administrator?
No, no, not from an administrator because that's a personal setting. That's a personal setting.
Sorry,
This is a personal setting,
that's
na?
a
So that's
personal
a
setting.
personal setting. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a personal setting.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay,
And this will allow the
that's a
administrator. So how do we determine who will have the access? Only the people having the administrator role they can access.
only see it's mentioned here. See this. What is this? You may grant your administrator or support personnel. Only
Support
two.
personnel. So a person, I mean, is an administrator or a support. How is that determined? Is that based on role or something else?
See, for example, right now I'm an administrator. My if you see when I open that, so my role is I'm already an administrator, right?
Yeah.
I'm already an administrator. So how can I give permission to myself? I'm already an administrator, so already I have got all the access. But let's suppose being an administrator, if I need some help from the Salesforce.com support, so I can give
Yeah.
permission to Salesforce.com support here. Okay. But if I logged in as a non-administrator, then we'll get two options here. Right now I'm getting only one option because I'm already an
Okay.
administrator,
Okay. Got it.
right?
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, but if I logged in as a non-administrator, then we'll get here two options. One, Salesforce.com support. One more option we'll get here, Salesforce admin.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll get an option over there.
Yeah. So so let's say if I log in, based on my
Hmm.
role, it will be determined whether I'm an administrator or a support. And if
That's
I
right.
try
That's
to
right.
access with you, okay. And
Okay, let's suppose. Let me explain. Let's suppose you are not an administrator. Let's suppose your profile is okay. Your profile is not an admin profile. Your profile is a standard user profile, for example.
okay.
Okay, you are a user profile or end user. Your profile is an end user profile, not an admin profile. So when you logged in, you will get, and let's suppose you logged in into your system and you will be having some issues in your system. So what will you do?
Yep.
Like as I mentioned, two
Yep.
approach. Either you can connect to your admin or you can connect to the support team, right?
Got it.
So then what will you do? You will go to your personal settings and grant access, a grant account login access, and you can give permission to your admin to access to login as you from his system.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
That's understood.
So,
So
hmm.
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, tell me.
So let's say if I grant the access as an end user
Hmm.
and my admin then further access my account through his machine, can he see
That's right.
all my um, uh, I mean the real data also, like opportunity details,
Yes, yes,
account
yes, yes.
details, or
Everything. See this?
anything?
See this.
Yeah, I mean, I was just checking whether it's access your data in the same the business data also, or only the technical configuration data,
No, 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 no. Everything. See, if
every
let's
damn
suppose
thing.
being an admin, if I log in as you, so I would be able to see all the details.
Hmm, got it.
Get it?
Yeah, yeah, got it. But I mean, I feel it would be a security issue if I grant my data access to others. At least in my corporate, that
Yeah,
will be
but
the case.
but but you will be going to give permission to your admin only, not to anyone
Hmm,
else.
got it.
And moreover, admin already got all the permissions. Let's suppose today you are working in a company, and tomorrow you decided to quit the job and you resign from your position. Then who will be going to manage the responsibilities in your absence?
Hmm.
then what admin will do? Admin will override, and admin will. So then what happened? What then? Admin can access, or admin can log in as your access your account, right? Then you have to make admin as a. You have to give permission to admin that in my absence, admin can manage all my responsibilities, or admin is going to manage this. By the time other user didn't, other employee didn't join as in your place.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Got it? And
No,
see,
it
and
works slightly
don't worry about
differently in
the.
my organization. So, but I understood the concept. That's fine.
Right. Actually, the systems, the applications, definitely there are some difference in the application. And the most important thing, if we talk about the data security, so even if our data get changes, so system tracks everything that which data has been changed and which user has modified the information. It tracks everything, and
Hmm.
it quickly give notification alert that this information has been changed by this user.
Okay.
Right. So that security we have.
Okay. Can you just
Okay.
go on this login history once? I have one question there.
Hmm.
So I see it
The
shows the
which
IP
login history?
address.
The personal one or the organization one?
Yeah, let's go to either of them is fine. So here, for
Okay.
if this is a personal login detail, that is fine. So I can see my IP addresses. Now you're saying
Mm-hmm.
that I mean, at least this person, maybe it's your account, you have logged in from multiple IP addresses, 102 and 194. So when you log in from a different machine, you will be asked for or send the security code on your registered email ID, and that is where you need to approve that okay, I'm the same person logging from a different machine.
And the same person.
Correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
But
right.
then it just show the login time. Does it not show how long the session was active or the session ended or something like that?
No, 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 no. It won't show that. It won't show that. It won't show that. But if we want to add that, so then we can see, we can, let's suppose if that kind of requirement comes, then what happened? One second. So we have this, you can just download this login history for 6 months. And when you download this login history, when we set the login history, latitude, longitude, post, see this source IP, login time, it won't show you the login hours. If you want to see that, what we have
Hmm.
to do, we need to create some trigger, or we need to write a programming for that, custom code for that. That what time user logged in and what time user logged out,
Hmm. Hmm. And
right?
if the user
Because
doesn't log out, also there will be default session timeout, something like that, right?
2 hours, 2 hours.
2 hours. Okay.
Is
Yeah.
that the
That's the standard
standard?
for.
Same
That,
question.
that's a that's a standard for everyone, but it is customizable. We can edit that.
Okay.
Yeah, it is editable. For example, for security reasons, why I want to log out after I want to log out that if a user logged in and did not perform any activity for next 15 minutes, I want to log out. We want to time out the session. It is possible. So that thing comes under profiles. That comes under profile because that's a profile level security, profile level setting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll be going to cover this when we discuss about securities and sharing. That time we have this. So if, for example, if I open system administrator, and in system administrator, if I edit this profile, see this session timeout, 2 hours, 15, 30, 1 hour, how long? If I said
Got it.
15 minutes, then what happened after the 15 minutes? If I do not perform any operation, my session will be timed out.
Got it.
Okay. So so it is possible to customize. And all these customization will be done by administrators.
Yep.
Okay, got it?
Yep.
Okay, so that's a personal settings. Uh, Now, very quickly, I'll show you one thing here. For example, this is, if you can see, this is a sales application. And here, I have that console. Okay. I don't have sales console, but let me show you one thing. We have service and service console. That's the same application, service, and here I have got service console. If you see the look and feel in service, we have all the objects placed like this. These are the objects. This is your application. These are objects or tables, you can say, account, contact, cases, reports. For example, if I click on, I want to see all the registered cases, click on case and all open cases, all closed cases, my cases, means we can just filter it out. Get it? These are the cases, right? And if I want to preview, if I want to see the detail of this record, what to do then? We have to click on this and it will open that record for us. Now, if I want to preview the detail of second record, what to do then? For second record, we have to go back to case and then click for second record. Here it is. Get it?
So
Yep.
from the detailed record, can't we have an option to do navigate the second record?
No, 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 we don't have because we don't have an option for that because there is no
It's a
arrow
time.
here. Something, yeah,
Correct,
there is
correct.
no arrow. Something to get to second record, right? Whereas if I'll open this service console, first of all, you see no objects will be placed. The object placed in a drop down window here, drop down option. I'll just click on all open cases. Here, when I click on first record, it opens in a separate tab and all my record moves to left side. Second record, third record, fourth record. So like this way we can work on multiple records simultaneously. Get it?
Okay.
This is
It's a
the console. Yeah, and that's the standard navigation. This is called standard navigation. And the second one called console navigation. And in console navigation, we have an option that we can access the information, we can access the record in tabs.
just the records.
Got it? Now the
So
question is
is there
why
any
I'm talking about this.
is there any limit? Let's say I'm selecting 10, 15 the tab. So
No, 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 no limit. It keeps adding. Can keep adding.
mhm.
Can keep
So
adding.
if you just
But then what happened? Yeah. For
oh,
example, if I keep on adding, then what happened? One, two, three, four, five, six, and then you'll get more options here.
this is service console. So the service
Yeah, that's it.
console, it's applicable for all entities, right? Now we are in all cases. Maybe the same case is applicable for opportunities, accounts, contact, and every entity
Yes,
is on
yes,
the same
yes,
approach.
yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so let's stop it here. In the next session, within tomorrow's session, I'll show you that how do we create a custom one. How do we do customization? Because that is our primary focus. That how do we create custom applications and how do we create totally new custom application with custom objects, fields, and everything. So that we'll be going to discuss in our tomorrow's session.